Hi everyone, we're here for the lesson that is called Shape Hunter because today you are going to be shape hunters. Mr. Marta is here. He's supposed to be helping me, but as usual, he's distracting me. He's going to be working the computer for me, working the camera for me, so he's here too. So your job today is going to be to go on a scavenger hunt around your house and look for shapes. And today we're looking for 2D shapes. So 2D means they're kind of flat. Well, they are flat. They're not kind of flat. They're flat, but they have two directions that they go. Side to side, up and down. Sometimes we call it length and width. So to start with, we're just going to review the shapes. And if you were here, I would be asking you to help me out. But you're not here, so I'm going to get Mr. Marta to be my students. Does anybody know what shape this is?
It looks like a circle.
It is a circle, so I'm going to write circle right there. All right. Mr. Marta, do you know what shape this is?
Triangle.
A triangle. Mr. Marta, how do you know it's a triangle?
It has 3 equal sides.
Yeah, they're not always equal.
In this case it is.
In this case it is. You might see a triangle that looks like this, and then the sides are not the same, but the thing about a triangle, it has 3 sides, just like a tricycle has 3 wheels. Tri means 3. All right, Mr. Marta, help me out here.
That's a rectangle.
It's actually supposed to be a square. I think
Really?
I squished it.
It looks longer.
I think I squished it. Let's talk about what a square
That,
might look like.
that's pretty close to a
That's
square.
closer. It's hard to make a square because in a square, all 4 sides are exactly the same. So my computer screen is stretching out the square that I actually put on there. So that's a square. That's the tricky thing about squares, is that all the sides are the same.
And if you're doing it perfectly, you'd have to use a ruler to make sure they're exactly the same.
Yeah, it does look a little bit longer up to down. That's okay. I'm making a mistake. What's happening? My brain's growing. Okay, Mr. Marta, help me with this one.
That is definitely a rectangle.
That is a rectangle. So when you have a rectangle, you have 2 long sides and 2 short sides. They could be a variety of different ways, right? It could be this way. The long sides don't have to go that way. All right, now let's look at this one. It kind of looks like a circle that somebody maybe sat on and squished. Mr. Marta, do you know the name of that?
It looks like an egg, so it has to be an oval.
It is an
Oh,
oval.
an egg is not a perfect oval, I guess.
It's true, but an oval is basically a circle that's been squished like that. All right, now these ones are tricky.
Mrs. Marta sat on the circle.
Okay, maybe I did. Don't tell everybody. Okay, so these ones are trickier. To figure out the name of them, you have to count the sides. So when I count, I hold my finger here because I know where I started, because if I don't, then I just keep counting around. I might go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to hold my finger here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This one has 5 sides. I'm hoping at home that you're thinking, I wonder which shape has 5 sides. Maybe you know. Mr. Marta, do you know?
5 means penta.
Okay. So it's a oops.
It's an oops.
It's an oops. See what happens when you use your finger? Remember, we're not supposed to use our finger on the whiteboard, Mrs. Marta. A pentagon. Okay, so a 5-sided shape is a pentagon. Now we're going to look at this one. I hold my finger
That's a lot
here
of sides.
where I count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one has 8 sides. This one is called?
It's kind of like an octopus.
Yeah, because an octopus has 8 legs. So it starts the same.
Do octopus have legs or arms, boys and girls?
Let's call them tentacles.
Okay.
Octopus have 8 tentacles. Okay, so an 8-sided shape is called an octagon. And here's our last one we're going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this one
Hex.
is a hexagon. And sometimes the way I help remember that is 6 and hex both have an X in them, and that helps me remember which one is which. So I'm going to get Mr. Marta to change the screen for me, and I'm going to quickly erase all this because it's going to look weird on the next sheet. This is going to be your job. In your lessons for today, there's a link to the shape scavenger hunt. So this is where you're going to be the shape hunter. Your job is to find these shapes around your house. You can see here It says draw a picture and label the items you find around your home or outside for each shape. If you can't find the shape, draw a picture of something you know is that shape. So for instance, we start with circle. I'm looking around. Oh, how convenient. There's a circle right here. It's a magnet. So I'm just going to write magnet and draw a picture of it. Now, you can see that there's lots of room in here. You might find a lot of circles. Fill in as many as you can find. Don't just rush and do one of each. Do your best work. I might be looking and I say, oh, here's a book. I wonder what shape this is. That is a rectangle. So I'm just going to write book. And there's my book. Maybe I have some writing on it and a little picture. That's Rocky Dog. Maybe it's a book about Rocky. Okay, so that's what I do. Now, the tricky thing is you might get to pentagon and you might be like, uh-oh, I don't have any pentagons in my house. Or you might get to hexagon or octagon and you might be, uh-oh, I don't have any of those shapes in that house. Mr. Marta, can you just roll octagon up for me?
But your words are going to be...
I can erase them.
There
So let's say I get to octagon. I'm like, oh, this is a hint for you. Pay attention. I know there's a sign that I see when I'm out on the street and it has 8 sides and it's red and it has a 4-letter word on it. And then I'm going to put that on there. I'm not going to say what the words are because I don't want you to know. I'm going to put that on there because I know a shape, something that has that shape. It doesn't have to be in your house. It might be hard to find unless you happen to have a set of shapes in your house. It might be hard to find that. Now, at the bottom, I put a stretch your brain. If you know some shapes that aren't on the list and you find something that is that shape, add it on the back. We're going to be super excited to see if you can come up with some shapes we haven't even talked about here. Maybe you'll find a 12-sided shape. I don't know. Okay, go get started.